Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a little discussion video. I'm going to entitle this Civivi Please. And the reason I wanted to quickly say this is not going to be a long video. I'll probably throw this up like on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, just as sort of an extra little piece of filler because it's not going to be super long, but I do feel like someone needs to say this. I really, really like Civivi knives. I'm on the White Mountain Knives page. By the way, use my discount code Sharp Stuff over here at White Mountain Knives and you'll save yourself 10%. Huge thank you to Justin for being willing to help me out that way and help you guys out that way. But here's the thing, I'm looking through the Civivi lineup and they have tons of great knives. There's all kinds of things here regardless of, you know, sort of what your preferences are. By the way, this Corsair is one I really need to try. I haven't reviewed this one, but I'm really curious about it. So I will, you know, it's on my list of knives to eventually get my hands on. That little Isham McKenna is such a cool looking knife. Anyway, lots of great looking knives here, but there are a couple of things that I find consistently bother me a little and have begun to bother me about Civivi knives. All right. Again, let me say this. I have positively reviewed bunches of these knives and I really, really like bunches of these knives. I don't think I've had a Civivi that I gave a negative review to because I like all of the knives, but there are some things that I notice seem to be a consistent thing with them, and I'm sure, you know, they figure this is their part of the marketplace or whatever. Again, look at great design, the Civivi Durus liner lock. Okay, great little knife. I mean, great little design there. Too small for me, but I can see people just loving that knife. Okay, here's my wish list. Okay, so anyone from Civivi, if you're watching, I would love to see this. Now, again, these are great knives. I wouldn't hesitate to buy one, and I've bought many of them and reviewed many of them, but consistently they seem to have very thin blade stock. All right, I don't dislike thin blade stock, especially in an EDC blade, but sometimes I want something that's a little more heavy duty, that's a little more stocky. And yes, I understand that, you know, a knife like that may not slice as well, but for an EDC knife, right, I want more than just slicing. I want toughness and the ability to maybe do some prying if I need to, and the ability to do some outdoor work or something like that. And so while I like the thin stock for the fact that it slices very well, I would love to see some thicker stock. I would love to see some heavier duty stuff come out of Civivi. We know they can kill making a knife. They can nail it over and over again. And I'm very confident, guys, that every single one of these models, if, you know, I just randomly picked one, and if we were at a knife store and I could pull it off the shelf and sort of flip it and check it out, a lot of things would be great. The quality would be great. The action would be great. You know, a lot of things like that, they tend to do consistently well. However, they tend to not have very thick blade stock, and I'd like to see a couple of models, even just one model, guys, with a slightly thicker blade stock. I'd like to see more hollow grinds. Now, it looks to me like the Elementum here and the Waverin. Let me look over here. Do we have a hollow grind on anything else? But you guys know I love hollow grinds. A flat grind is fine, but a hollow grind just performs a little bit better, generally speaking, especially when it comes to any task that requires, you know, cutting through cardboard, anything where you're cutting through a medium, there tends to be less friction created by a hollow grind than a flat grind. So I'd love to see some thicker stock with a hollow grind. Another thing I'd love to see is some models with washers. All right, Civivi, the Brigand here is on my list of knives to pick up and review for you guys. And that's going to bring us to the next point that I want to make in a second here. But look at all the knives on this page. Notice something, every single one, D2, D2, D2. I would love to see, number one, a return to that original 9CR18 MOV steel. When Peter, you know, from Cedar Canada Gear and Outdoors, when Pete tested it, it performed extremely well, comparable to VG10. That's awesome. And when I can get a knife that performs that well for that price, I think that's a huge win for us as knife enthusiasts. But it seems like Civivi has kind of moved on from that, and now everything is going to be in D2. Please stop with the D2. One, some people need, now for me, the D2 is great because I don't live in an area that gets very much, you know, I don't have any issues with condensation. In fact, you're more likely to have, chapped lips and dry skin where I live in Canada than the opposite. But that's not everybody. And so that 9CR18 MOV is also quite stainless, which again is a huge win for a lot of people. And those knives tend to be cheaper. So all those things I think are really, really nice. And the other thing that I would love to see is some knives with washers. Look, we know Civivi can make a great knife, all right? They've proven it over and over again. All the knives from Civivi I've handled have been fantastic. The action is always nice. The detent is always nice. The blade grinds are nice. They're thin behind the edge. All kinds of great things that they consistently do. I would love to see them produce a knife with washers. All right. It just allows me to, it gives a little more variety. And there are some people that use their knives on construction sites, that use them for outdoor survival type stuff, for bushcrafting. They use them in places and environments where bearings are just not going to work well. And so I'd love to see some knives on washers. So there you go, Civivi Please. Some thicker stock, some hollow grinds, some washers rather than bearings. And go back to the 9CR18 MOV. It was a great steel. I don't know, you probably got some complaints about people talking about Chinese alphabet steel who didn't pay attention to how well it actually performed. They just saw CR in the name and were like, nope, that's a pass. Look, it's a nice steel and it performs really well. And I don't care what it's called, a good performing budget steel is a good performing budget steel, Anyway. That's my Civivi Please rant. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear your comments below. Am I completely out to lunch? Should Civivi keep doing exactly what they're doing? Or do you feel the same as me? You'd like to see them offer some different stuff than, their current. It seems like right now they just, they've got a pattern, right? They're the knife will have a different footprint in terms of, the shape will be different, but you're going to get, thin stock D2 steel, you're going to get bearings, and you're going to get a liner lock that's milled out, okay? All that stuff is fine. I have no problem with that, but I would love to see some variation. That's all I've got to say. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to head over to White Mountain Knives, use my discount code to pick something up, save yourself 10%, whether it's a Civivi or something else. Again, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.